Okay, and hi. As you can probably tell by the picture, this is a piercing tutorial. I'm going to try and show these as best I can. I kind of set up this tutorial months ago and never got to it, so hopefully I can still do it. I was inspired to do this by a girl I actually saw while I was in school. She had these same type of piercings, and I thought it'd be kind of cool to draw them out, and said, oh, I can make a tutorial on this. So as usual, I'm going to delete this base layer. Well, I'm going to hide it. I'm going to hide it. I'm going to be safe this time. I'm going to hide this base layer so you can see me drawing from scratch. Now, I'm not going to show you how to draw all the not all the tutorials, all the piercings that I did because I'm lazy. So I'm going to show, I think, one or two because it's the same technique. As you can see, all my pressure sensitivity nonsense is off, so you can do this with a mouse. No need to ask. Alright, first I'm going to do is draw it. Well, let me first say this. Excuse me. A problem I usually see with piercings is people draw kind of what they assume to be there. Like, we know a piercing kind of looks like this. That's really bad, but yeah. It kind of looks like this. And when people draw piercings, they'll draw it like that. And put it on her lip. That's actually really ill-fitting, and I think that would be kind of painful. I don't know, anyone with a lip piercing might want to clarify on that, but that's really ill-fitting, and it looks like it'd be uncomfortable. From my understanding of it, they're supposed to fit pretty decently well and sit comfortably over the lip, so that you're not having to constantly take them out for different things. So I'm going to get this brush, and I'm going to draw it like this. Now you see, it's not that weird round shape like the other one, and if I was drawing it on the side, it would be like this instead. You're not seeing all of the piercing that we're putting in there, but you know generally what that is. If that makes sense. It probably doesn't, but whatever. It's all for fun. Unless you're like taking this tutorial uber seriously while you're watching it. I don't know how you can watch a tutorial seriously, but I'm sure there's a way. Somebody's probably doing it, watching it with glasses and like a notepad. Oh gosh. I forgot to say what I was doing. I'm using the eraser to erase lightly around here to kind of shape it, because it shouldn't be thick all the way around, because in general it is curving under and into the lip, and if it was really thick it would be uncomfortable for when you close your mouth, I think. And it's just kind of the perspective thing. You know, things far away seem to be getting a little smaller, things up close a little bigger. But don't make it too small, because then it looks like it's dwindling in, but make it kind of like that. Don't make it a super chunky lip ring. Alright, I'm going to go from 60% down to 30, and here is the lovely, lovely tricky part. I'm going to go closer to the black. Don't go fully to black. I've heard it creates a visual hole. I didn't understand what that meant, but I kind of get it. I can't describe it. If I could describe it, I really would. But it creates kind of a visual hole where your eye just kind of... Yeah, that's a great sound effect for it. And what I'm going to start doing is defining the shape of the piercing. Now, the piercing has a little ball here that's raised, so underneath that would be kind of dark. And also where it goes in at the lip would be dark. When it gets closer to the inside of the lip, it would be dark. And here it would be dark. And just define those dark spaces. Alright. I'm doing a little bit extra. I think I want to make dark around here. It's best to use a reference, but I don't use reference. That's why I'm so unprofessional. But usually where things are touching, it would be darker, and where things aren't, it would be lighter. Plus, it depends on your light source. I'm not sure what light source I did with this. Like I said, I set this up like months ago and never touched it. So I'm gonna get a little bit lighter and kind of work around that a little bit. What I'm doing is basically building up these shades of gray. Working in shades of gray is actually pretty awesome because it gets you a better shape for shadow and you're not as focused on color as you normally would be. Now I'm going to get lighter, put that light in the shiniest places, well, the places where light would hit more. Now I'm going to go down to 15% and blend it out. As I say in a lot of my tutorials, I'm sorry, I've been using Photoshop for a bit, so I was pushing the wrong button for the alt. Probably gonna go back to GIMP though. I love Photoshop for how easy it is to zoom, how clear it is, the extra tools in it, but I am so a GIMP girl. Yeah, I'll have another speed edit in here for that. But I'm blending this out. This is not a blending tutorial, so again, I'm not going to go into blending. I have a blending tutorial. It's not the best, I'm aware, but I'm not going to go over blending literally every video I do, because obviously if the blending tutorial wasn't good enough, me going over it every video isn't going to help. You can... what was I gonna say? Dang it. But you can look at references, you can look at other tutorials. I have a tutorial I can post for you. It's a free one by Adantonius, I believe it's pronounced. And it talks about rendering a bunch of different textures, and it has a really cool one on metal. Because metal is really cool to render for the way that shadow and shine work on it. I'm getting some more darkness because I feel like I blended my darkness out too much. Metal's really cool to render because it has shadow and shine kind of like in the same areas. Because, you know, at least my brain kind of tells me, oh, where there's shadow, there isn't shine. Where there's shine, there isn't shadow. But metal really helps you get the idea of shadow and shine can kind of coexist to create this new texture. Alright, I think I have enough of that. Alright, now what makes metal really metally is I'm getting close to white, but I don't want to go fully white. I'm going to get the smallest brush I can muster. What I'm going to do is around the darkest areas, I'm putting a little bit of white to kind of make the brightness seem like it can pop from there. And I'm going to blend it a little bit to soften it up around the areas. Oh gosh, get my color back. I'm going to keep doing this. But yeah, test it too. I would say, even though I didn't do it right now, zoom out, zoom back in, see, how does this shine look in comparison to this shine? And erase it, which is why you should do it on a separate layer, not like me. I guess you learn more from my mistakes than you do from my actual teachings. That's a great way to learn. Alright, so I'm backing up. You see it looks a little shinier because of those, you know, points, those shiny points in the darkness. It makes the metal look more shinish. But again, I'll post the tutorial on metal and texturing. But that is the general idea that you need to know about that. I'm darkening up a little bit. I'm using some darker colors to pop some contrast in there and make the metal look more metally. I'm not going to do black piercings in this because black and ones are pretty simple. You start with a darker color. Oh, gray, 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 gray. But I felt the metal texturing was something I really wanted to touch on. Another big part with piercings is they don't float. So I'm going to make a new layer underneath my piercings. And since my lovely, lovely full lips are here, oh, forgot to put sample merged on. I'm going to sample a color from my lips, make it a little darker, and underneath my piercing, still on 15% opacity, put some nice shadowing around there. And that makes the piercings kind of fit in the picture. Another thing you can do, if you notice, my lighting in this picture is blue. It's a nice little blue color that I tossed in. I don't remember doing this, but I really like it now. And you can take this with your smallest brush or semi-small brush, and you can put it in the piercing so that your piercing, oh, wrong layer, so that your piercing belongs more in the picture. It's getting that same colored lighting as everything else here, even though that's so the wrong color. You know what I mean. It's getting that same colored lighting as everything else in there. You see it seems to blend in more. Not like the piercing is just smacked on. It matches with the environment. I think that's it. I hope you learned something from this. I hope you enjoy, and I will see you guys with my next tutorial. I forget what it is exactly. It's in a comment of a YouTube video, so I'll get back to you on that. Alright, bye!